Friday, the 1st of May 2015, while the public and investor eyes were focused on the performance of Marvel's Avengers: Age of Ultron, and after the markets had closed for the week so stock prices wouldn't take a hit from it, Josh Trank announced that he had made the personal decision to drop out of the Star Wars anthology movie he was lined up to direct for Disney. As many rumors suggest, and The Hollywood Reporter confirms, Trank was in fact fired following the numerous production issues on Fox's reboot of the Fantastic Four. Here, we will give you the lowdown on what is said to have transpired. As per the contract, then Marvel head honcho Avi Arad made with Fox in the 90s, Fox owns the movie licenses to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and will continue to do so for the indefinite future, as long as they have a new movie in production within a given time frame after the release of the previous one. The day after it was announced that Disney had bought Marvel in 2009, Fox made it clear they had no intention of allowing any of their Marvel licenses to revert to Marvel, and announced Fox-produced reboots of Daredevil and the Fantastic Four. They were not able to get a Daredevil reboot off the ground quickly enough, so that property reverted to Marvel, who later rebooted Daredevil themselves in the excellent Netflix TV series. Fox had more time with the Fantastic Four, however, but it didn't seem to have any high priority with the studio. In July of 2012, 3 years after Fox announced the reboot, Josh Trank was signed on to direct it. The movie went through a variety of scripts, but there were few outwardly signs of progress visible for the next couple of years. Only when the reversion deadline was about to expire, 5 years after Fox first announced the reboot, did it actually enter production in May of 2014. With the exception of Michael B. Jordan, Josh Trank's friend and first, last, and only choice for the role of Johnny Storm, the principal cast was signed on only weeks before cameras started rolling, each casting choice controversial. There are unconfirmed reports that in the 5 years between the announcement of the movie and the formal start of production, there were talks between Fox and Disney. The speculation goes that Fox had no actual desire to make the movie, but also no intention of allowing the rights to revert to their corporate enemy Disney Marvel, without, in return, seeing a sum far greater than what Disney was willing to part with. It is also rumored that Marvel early on suggested a trade, an extension on Daredevil in return for Silver Surfer and Galactus outright, which Fox rejected. In the end, Fox proceeded to make the movie, and Marvel has given ever less and less exposure to the comics where Fox owns the movie rights. The most notorious examples killing Wolverine in the comics, and canceling the long-running, but low-selling, Fantastic Four title. Marvel also expressed their displeasure towards the Fox-produced movie by blowing up the cast of the reboot in the pages of The Punisher. Josh Trank was hired on the strength of his previous movie Chronicle, a low-budget feature which turned out to be a hit at the box office and with moviegoers and critics alike. However, the Trank-helmed Fantastic Four reboot was plagued by trouble before the cameras ever rolled. The majority of the fans were poised against the movie from day one, many labeling the movie a pure rights grab, and many more wanting to see the entire production shut down and the Fantastic Four rights revert to Marvel. The marketing line that the reboot of Marvel's first and most fantastic family was going to be dark and gritty also backfired with fans, big time. Josh Trank's Twitter account was another bone of contention. Several Twitter accounts have claimed to belong to Josh Trank, most of which were later confirmed to be fake, such as the one where an imposter pretending to be Josh Trank engaged in civil discourse with fans. The Twitter handle confirmed to belong to the real Josh Trank had since posted snide remarks and potshots aimed at the fans, including one particularly notorious tweet where the fans were likened to a pictured part of his dog's anatomy. In March of 2014, before the movie was scheduled to shoot, Fox took down Trank's Twitter account, which coincided with the first published report of behind-the-scenes problems. Bleeding Cool broke the scoop that Fox were looking to dump not just Trank as director, but also his chosen script and cast, and that they were actively reaching out to other directors to take over the movie. Bleeding Cool stuck with their scoop, despite Fox issuing a denial to Screen Rush, but in the end production went forth with Trank and his cast. The next reports came from the Tiger Droppings forums, where locals from the Baton Rouge area where the movie was filmed posted their observations and experiences from the production. And over his head and out of control, several citing that Josh Trank often did not show up on set at all, and when he did show up he was often drunk or high as a kite. He was also verbally abusive towards the crew, and most notably towards Kate Mara, who he has claimed to have brought to tears at one point. Furthermore, he was said to have wrecked the luxury accommodation rented for him, causing $100,000 worth of damage, which led to the Fox president having to personally come to Baton Rouge to apologize to the owners. Other reports suggest that since Josh Trank was incapable of directing large parts of the shoot, it was ghost-directed by the writer and producer Simon Kinberg personally. It has later transpired and been widely reported that the movie needed 3 days of reshoots, which were complicated due to the shooting schedule of the principal cast. Other unconfirmed reports claim that the reshoots actually lasted 3 months, not 3 days as claimed by the studio, and that large parts of the set had to be reconstructed, all of which contributed to the ballooning cost of the movie. Josh Trank has been largely absent during what little promotion there has been of the movie, with producer Simon Kinberg handling the small amount of public speaking there has been. Even the cast seems reluctant to talk about it. Apparently Simon Kinberg, writer of both the Fantastic Four reboot and the upcoming Star Wars anthology, informed Disney about Trank's erratic behavior on the set of the Fantastic Four. This is what led Disney to ask Trank to sit out the Star Wars Celebration Anaheim panel that he was scheduled to appear at, and ultimately to take him off the project. Needless to say, being taken off Star Wars is a serious blow to any filmmaker, especially when combined his reported behavior on the set of the Fantastic Four, which means he is unlikely to be invited back to direct the sequel should it actually be greenlit. Is this the end of Josh Trank's career? Have they been able to salvage the Fantastic Four reboot in the editing bay, or is it a disaster? Let us know what you think in the comments. For more great podcasts, news, and reviews, visit our site at midnightsedge.net and follow us on Twitter at midnightsedge. Also check out our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/midnightsedge.